Today I am discussing the text question answer of the book. In the first we will discuss the fill in the blanks of the lesson. Employment in the service sector has not increased to the same extent as production. Workers in the tertiary sector do not produce goods. Most of the workers in the organized sector enjoy job security. A large proportion of laborers in India are working in unorganized sector. Cotton is a natural product and cloth is a manufactured product. The activities in primary, secondary and tertiary sector are interdependent. Choose the most appropriate answer. The sectors are classified into public, private sector on the basis of ownership of the enterprises. Production of commodity mostly through the natural process is an activity in primary sector. GDP is the total value of all final goods and services produced during a particular year. In terms of GDP, the share of tertiary sector in 2013 and 14 is between 50 to 60%. So share of the sector in the GDP you can see there in the year 1973 to 1974 and 2013 to 2014. You can see there very properly. Okay student. Match the following. The problem faced by farming sector, some possible measures. Unirrigated land, that is construction of canal by the government. Low price for crops, that is procurement of food grains by the government, means availabilities of the food grains by the government on the very low prices. Debt burden, means bank to provide credit with low interest rate. No job in the off season, means setting up agro based mills. Compelled to sell their grains to the local traders soon after the harvest, means cooperative marketing societies. Now some find the odd one out and say why. There are some odd words which you have to eliminate, which you have to evict from the group. Tourist guide, dhobi, tailor, footer. So there is tourist guide which is appointed by the government. Teacher, doctor, vegetable vendor, lawyers. So vegetable vendor belong from the public areas, unorganized group also. Postman, cobbler, soldier, police constable. So the cobbler who is coming from the unorganized group or the private groups. MTNL, Indian Airlines, Air India, Jet Airlines, All India Radio and Sahara Airlines. So here Sahara Airlines is the private sector activity. Now, a research scholar looked at the working people in the city of Surat and found the following. In offices, the factories registered with the government organized. These are 15%. Owns shops, office, clinics in marketplace with a formal license. It is organized sector. It is 15% people. People working on the street, construction workers, domestic workers, they are belonging from the unorganized group. They are 20%. Working in a small workshop, usually not registered with the government. They are unorganized groups and they are 50%. Now we have some questions with the table. Complete the table. What is the percentage of the worker in the unorganized group? It is 70%. Means you can see them. Now we will discuss some questions. Now we will discuss the questions with their answers. Do you think the classification of economic activities into primary, secondary and tertiary is useful? Explain how. So in the first classification of activities into primary, secondary and tertiary, they are on the basis of the nature of production, where their classification is very important. Think the classification of economic activities into primary, secondary, and tertiary sector is useful. Explain how. Because primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector, in the first we know the people who are giving their contribution in the different sector individually. The first we will get this knowledge. Second, the contribution of the each sector in the GDP, in the term of GDP. So this is the second information. They also tell in the sector where there is a lot of burden of the people who are mostly unemployed, and where there is the requirement of the people as a worker, where mostly the people should be shifted from some other sector. So these are the classification tell us many of the things which are very useful for the country, because each sectors and their classification tell the basic information about the sectors. Oh yaar. For each of the sector that we came across in this chapter, why should one focus on employment and GDP? Could it be their issues which should be examined, discussed? So there are two things which are discussed through the lesson. So the two things which are discussed throughout the lesson, one is employment and second is GDP. Employment is very important topics in this lesson, because employment where we know the people who are employed in the different sectors, because employment is the kind of working force which are very important for the country's economy, because in India mostly the people are employed in the different sector, but actually how many they are employed, that is the important issue. And GDP, which is very important part of the economy, because it tell the actual income of the final goods and their contribution in the country's resources. This is very important thing. Many of the topics we should discuss which are left, such as the pollution free environment, such as the justice for life, such as security and safety of the unorganized workers, such as many of the other topics, such as the growing population, which is very important topic, such as the illiteracy, which is the very biggest problem of the country, such as the proper use of the resources, and some resources which are very limited, and the conservation policy of the government, the future policy of the government for the renewable resources, because in future we have to face many of the problem with these resources. Our next question is, make a long list of the kind of work that you find adult around you doing for a living. In what way can you classify them? Examine your choice. So you have to make a list, and you have to in the first collect the name of those people who are living around you, and there are three kind of the resources on the different basis. One is the nature of production, second is the ownership, and third is the nature of employment. You have to put all the people who are living them. If they are possible to adjust any group, you have to put them. Then you have to post this answer in the online classes, otherwise you will keep it very safely. Our next question is, how is the tertiary sector different from the other sector? Illustrate with the example. So our these questions are very important. How tertiary sector different from other sector? Because tertiary sector does not produce the goods, it produces only the services, and other sector produce the final goods and raw material. So tertiary sector provide them the backbone, the form of services which are very helpful for the both sector, because in the first it ensure the interdependence of the all sector with each other. Second thing, it also helpful for the reducing the burden of the primary sector and tertiary sector in the terms of employment, in terms of we'll say many of the things, because many of the areas where the public sector, sorry, tertiary sector is performing it very best role in many of the places in the country. Now our next question is, what do you understand by the disguised unemployment? Examine with an example each from the urban and rural areas. So disguised unemployment means when 9 people are working in a farmland, which is the area near about 4 hectare uh, 4 hectare area of the farmland, and where the 9 people are working. If 4 people are evicted from the land, so there will be no effect in the production. And if the 4 people also evicted from the area, then it will not also affect the GDP. So if we understand with the same term in the agriculture, the second from the urban areas, where in the small scale industries, suppose a Bengal manufacturing, it is comes in the small scale industry or cottage scale industry. If the 10 people are working in the glass factory, if the 5 people are evicted, so no effect in the production, because 5 people are working very properly, no effect over there, we'll say efforts. Next question is, distinguish between the open unemployment and disguised unemployment. Open unemployment to work but not getting any job, because any possibility is not job, especially it is found in the cities. And disguised unemployment is found in the rural and urban areas, especially where the person is seen to work but actually he is not fully employed, because his country is distributed among the member of the family or his family friend or anyone people. And the next question is, tertiary sector is not playing any significant role in the development of Indian economy. Do you agree? I'm not agree with it, because tertiary sector is playing very important role. It is a very significant role in the terms of development of the economy, because tertiary sector does not provide the good, it provides the services. And it is seen that tertiary sector, it is the fast growing sector of the many countries in the world, because where it is linking the sector, means other sector, primary, secondary, uh, with the transportation, with the communication, with the many of the advanced technology, which is also uh, coming in the tertiary sector, which are very helpful for the other sector. If we discuss here the role of banking sector, which comes in the tertiary sector, the role of the formal credit, which is very important, because in rural areas where the farmers have to dependent over the money lender and large farmers, where they charge the highest interest rate. If the banking sector is very comfortably work in the villages, then many of the people will be if tension free, because they hope that they will get the loan very easily from the banking area. So the government should very promisingly to open the cooperative bank, Grameen bank in the villages area, so the development of the economy can be in the very better form. This is our question, and our next question is, service sector in India employs two different kind of people. One, two kind of people. One who are giving their contribution directly in the production. Second, who are not giving their contribution in the production directly. They are the transporter, they are the tradesmen, they are the businessmen, they are the many people. And those who are not giving their contribution in the production directly, they are the teacher, lawyer, and many people, civil servant, politician. Are you getting it? Workers are exploited in the unorganized sector. Do you agree with this view? Give a reason in support of your answer. Yes, workers are exploited in an unorganized sector, because in an unorganized sector where different kind of the workers are working, such as the casual workers, which have to work throughout the day. Sometimes they do not get work. Even sometimes they have to faces many of the difficulties. If we see the things from the agriculture sector, so they are landless workers who are mostly facing the same problem. Secondary sector where the casual workers, because sometimes the work is not available, especially in the construction site. And in the tertiary sector, if you see, sometimes the workers who do not get work in the service sector, especially some kind of the seasonal work, suppose the vendors, hawkers, head load workers, they mostly do not get the job in the rainy season and many of the harsh weather conditions. So in such a way, as some important things should be ready for these workers in this area. How are activities in the economy classified on the basis of employment condition? I told you already, organized and unorganized activities. You have to classify them. You have to compare it with them with the 3 point. With the example also. Compare the employment condition prevailing in the organized, unorganized sector. So you have to also you have to make the comparison between the both sector, and you have to tell them. You have to tell their nature and features. You have to tell their comparison. Explain the objective of implementing of the NREGA program. NREGA program is organized under the central government. This program was implementing the right to work in place of food for work program in about 625 districts of India. It is called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, and it was confirmed as the MNREGA 2005. Under MNREGA 2005, all those who are able to and are in need of work in rural areas are guaranteed of the 100 days. These days are also increased with the 30 days more now present time. Even many of the days also increased. Even they get the 100 rupees. I think the rupees also increased for the people of employment in a year by the government. If government fails in the duty to provide the employment, it will give the unemployment allowances that make it the guarantee act of the work to the people. Types of work that would in future help to increase the production from land will give preference under the act. Using example from your area, compare and contrast that activities and functions of private and public sector. So some of the area where the activities which are contrasted between the private and public activities. So private activities where some work are owned by the individual or group of people, and some work are owned by the government. These activities where the motive of the private sector to earn the more profit, and they charge the highest rate also. But in the public sector, there are many motive to provide the facilities, public facilities, welfare program of the people, subsidy program, many of the other program. Where many of the areas where public sector also take up the other activities, other functions such as the electricity production, coal production, where they have not given the private sector ownership over it. So this is very important thing. Now discuss and fill the following table with the example each from your area. Public sector, you can say Delhi Metro, and badly managed organization is Air India. It comes in the well managed organization. It comes in the badly managed organization in the public sector. Private sector, it is well managed. It is Reliance Mobile Group. Badly managed, it is the Satyam Computer. It is badly managed in India. Give a few examples of public sector activities and explain why the government has taken them up. There are some activities which the government has to support. The private sector may not continue their production or business unless government encourages it. For example, selling electricity at the cost of generation may push up the cost of the production of goods in many industries. Many units, especially small scale units, might have to shut down because many of the areas, if the electricity and coal production has given in the hand of private sector, then it may increase the cost of electricity and it will affect the other sector. So the government here steps in by producing and supplying the electricity at the rate which these industries can afford. Otherwise, if the electricity has gone in the hand of private sector, then it will affect badly in the many of industries, and many of the industries they charges the highest cost of their product, and it will affect the public life because public which mostly afford the goods with their reasonable prices. So these are some important things. तो पहले कौन सा क्वेश्चन है?